I'm Emily J. Harrington. I'm a student here at UNT, and I'm going to get my degree in Applied Arts and Sciences. I will be a senior for 2 more years because I have to do it the slow way, but I will graduate. I've been a personal trainer for 15 years, and I have written articles, done presentations, and trained clients in the art of the equestrian athlete. And I'm also really interested in teaming. I like teams. I have coached some, and I've been members of teams in sporting events, also activities like a church. I've been a member of really good teams and some pretty weak teams. But I'm really interested in it. So I decided I'm going to do a presentation on teaming and come up with a strategy that's simple and that is shared between the sports world and the business world. All right. So I'm going to take the guesswork out of it, make it simple for you, and here we go. All right, who here has been part of a team?
All of us.
Right.
Yes.
You can't be a part of a group without working for a common goal, and therefore you're a team. All right? It's a satisfying experience, I think. I've really enjoyed it. But it can be really daunting to walk into a room of people that you may or may not know, or even if you're doing it online in groups that you don't know. You want to establish your role in the group, your personality. It just can be daunting to create those relationships that is going to help you achieve your goals. My goals for you today are, of course, I want you to enjoy yourself. I know this is exactly where you want to be today. I want you to learn something new, and I'm hoping that there's actually something you learn that you can take and utilize. Some of you are parents. I think teaming has a lot to do with parenting. I think we use those skills a lot. So I'm going to show you my simple approach that I came up with through my research, and I'm going to take you into what is at the heart of teaming. All right, so before we get into all that, who here is wondering why there's a roll of toilet paper on the table? What we're going to do is chant together, 1, 2, 3. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. All right, as you count, you're going to pull off a strip of toilet paper, pass that puppy around. Okay? 1, 2, 3. Good. Come on, everybody chant. 1, 2, 3. We are a team. 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
Joey, you're going to regret that.
Okay.
All right, so why do we have toilet paper in our hands? Okay, however many sheets you pulled off will determine how many things you're going to say about yourself.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'm going to let Joey tear that strip in half, at least. Tell me a path you've been on, a road that you would like to take, something you'd like to do next year, tomorrow, before you die, in an hour. Tell me some underutilized capabilities that you have, some things you'd like to explore. And it also included facts that should not be spoken of. I'm not kidding. It said no kittens, no puppies, children, motorbikes, or fishing. Those are verboten. I don't know why. So we're going to stick to the rules. I'll go ahead and go and tell you things you don't know about me. I'm a 2-time world champion riding horses over fences. I love artichokes. We have a Swiss mountain dog that is enormous and I have a love-hate relationship with. I love living in Denton, and I'm really enjoying being a student.
Okay, let's see. I lived in a mud hut in Africa. I like running. I like the color blue, and I biked here today.
Although we didn't know that. Anyway, Pat.
Okay. I quit my job with the federal government last summer. I attended an entrepreneurial boot camp in Chile for 8 weeks last fall. I'm originally from the Washington, D.C. area, and I do hope within the next year to visit Asia with my wife, Jackie.
Cool.
Cool.
Let's see, I'm married to her.
There's that.
No. Starting a new high school program at Sacred Heart High School, volleyball, this fall, hopefully. Hopefully that will take off. I'd like to see it go on to do good things. I love participating on teams and have most of my life. And I don't know.
Dig deep, baby. One more, come on.
I like running and bicycling.
Okay.
That was two, good for you. All right, Joey.
I'll just do half.
Great
Okay.
idea, great idea.
I'm the oldest of 5. I own a few businesses here in town. I'm on city council. I'm campaigning again, but I'm running unopposed. So that has been a big weight that has been lifted.
Good idea.
I too love Denton very much.
Everybody's nice and relaxed and you know a little bit about each other. That's awesome. So here we go. What I did was I took the word team and I decided that with my research and my experience, I would try to define this acronym in a way that was simple and effective. Before I tell you what my acronym is, because I'm not the first person to do this, I want to brainstorm, and I'm going to have Joey slide over a little bit,
Okay.
and he's going to write down our ideas. Because there's no wrong answer here. Everything that you come up with that has to do with teams, since you're all experienced at it, is going to be useful information, or else. Well, let's move on then, because we can come back to it. There are no rules here. So
Okay.
you can throw out anything that comes to you for E, A, and M. Let's do that. And if you come back to one for T, that's great too. So,
Energy.
Effort.
Easy.
good.
If you're not, if you're not pulling your weight in the team.
Excellent.
We're working as part of a team makes it easy.
That's true.
There is the acronym Together Everyone Achieves More. Has everyone heard that one?
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Achievement would be good.
You want achievement?
All right, like that.
How about mental? Is mental toughness okay?
Beautiful.
That's an acronym for grit.
Is it?
That's a cool word these days, isn't it? Motivation.
Good. That's perfect. All right, keep those up. Joey, you're good.
Okay.
And have a seat. I'll share with you what I found in my experience and through some research. So you guys are real close on a lot of them. Trust, engage, accountability, and your word, motivation, or motivate. So I thought it would be easier to come up with this plan. It's simple to use an acronym. Acronyms are so much easier to remember, but I wanted to make sure that the words that I used represented a lot of stuff, encompassed everything really needed to make a powerful team experience. So let's start with trust. Tom?
Who here likes to win? That is the only reason you should be here. Unless, of course, you're trying to avoid household chores. If that's the case, we've already got 2 things in common. Jen, you know why teams win? Talent? In basketball, we're only about talent if you play one-on-one. You like these girls, Jen? Yes. Okay. Who here thinks that Jen's lipstick is a good color for her? Come on, anybody? Look at her. Cute girl, olive skin, beautiful smile, and street corner lipstick. Colleen, care to comment? Trust. Trust is why teams win. And if you can't trust your teammate to tell you your lipstick is wrong, you can't trust your teammate to call it a backdoor screen. So I will ask again. Who here thinks it's a bad color? specifics. Watch each other's backs. That's all I'm saying.
She pretty much nails it on the head. Trust is the bedrock of all relationships. I don't think we can debate that. Bruce Brown, who is a proactive coach, he speaks around the United States and Canada about coaching. And he says, when building teams, no quality is more important than trust. Trust builds momentum, it improves performance, and it increases the bonds between team players and coaches. Now, trust doesn't come overnight when you start a new team. So these next words that I'm using or that I'm defining for structure are going to help to build that trust as we go, okay? Engage. So, what does engage mean?
Communicate.
Yeah, communicate. So, I'm talking about communication that has to do with two things. Coming up with a common goal that everybody understands, this is why we're meeting, this is why we're teaming. We have this common goal that we want to achieve. So there's that. But there's another type of communication that's almost more important. When you come in to meet, usually a lot of communication happens, unless there are problems, and then you need to address that. But in a perfect world, communication is occurring in the meeting. It's in between meetings that communication tends to drop. So I was a part of the ACTS core team through church. ACTS is Adoration, Community, Theology, and Service. And our whole role was to manage 13 retreats that we put on a year. It's a pretty big job. And we all have specific roles that we play on this team, but in the end, we're all helping each other. I began to realize there had to be a pretty long trail of communication in between meetings. Texts, emails, phone calls, following up and finding out, are you accomplishing what we set out to do? Which leads to the next thing. Accountability. All right, for the purposes of teaming, accountability refers to the willingness to call out your peers and let them know their performance or their behaviors are not really lending themselves to the team. And what ends up happening a lot in teams that aren't functioning well, they tend to look to their who of the group.
Boss.
A leader, a boss.
Coach.
And they make that person the bad guy because they sit back idly and wait for the girl with the stick to come in and go, you need to be doing what you said you were going to do. So it's more than that, you know, becoming a team member that's productive and effective requires that we keep each other accountable. And when you do that, then you're going to have more of a facilitator than a leader in your group, which is going to be more effective. Okay, the last one, moving along, motivate. Coach Bob Ladouceur, he went 151-0 winning streak. It's probably one of the longest winning streaks in the history of football, of sports. He coached the football team in Richmond, California. It was high school, De La Salle Spartans, and his story is really cool. There's a movie they did about him called When the Game Stands Tall. And the movie isn't about the winning streak, it's about when they lost, their first loss. And his really cool quote, because he didn't coach to win, that was not his goal. His quote was, we're not asking for you to be perfect, but what we are asking of you and what you should be asking of each other is for a perfect effort from whistle, for snap of the ball to whistle. So this is just perfect, I think, for trying to get your team members to understand, hey, you know, we're all different personalities. And how we see reaching this goal is going to be different too. But if we work together and we give our perfect effort, then we're going to have more of a Zen approach to getting to that common goal. And not fight each other. those are my 4 strategies. And you know, they're not just little superficial strategies. There's a lot of depth to all of them. And I hope that you can see a deeper meaning in what Ken Blanchard says here. None of us is as smart as all of us. Every single one of those strategies I gave you kind of exemplifies that. What I'd like to do now is open up the floor to all of you. Since you've all been involved in teams, as you told me in the beginning of the presentation, tell me what your experience has been with some of these things.
Well, when I thought about when you said engage, when you're engaging somebody, I felt like the best results I've had is when they know that you're invested. So when you are totally invested in a team or a project or something like that, that's how you get people engaged. And so that's, I don't know if that's kind of where you want this discussion to go.
Absolutely. Well,
Well, I think when I was at this boot camp in Chile, I guess, and I used to coach baseball as well, and so
right.
it's pretty difficult to deal with toxic people. That's
Yeah,
because
I like that word.
you have to stay positive, and you can't, you know, it's very difficult to deal with somebody who's not buying into the team concept.
Yeah.
Especially if it's something that's not a natural occurring team,
Yeah.
but something that you're chosen for. And so I think about the engaging and accountability, I mean, all of these, every single one of your terms in this acronym, I think my experience is that it's very, I mean, aside from being accurate, when somebody, I think the trust thing flows from everything else.
Right.
Like if somebody, they can talk the talk, and they can kind of pretend like they're serious about doing things, but if they
Yeah.
don't do it,
When you're showing the people that you're doing it and you're really invested, like you said, motivating.
right, and motivating is very difficult to do for somebody who is checked out.
Right.
And
Yeah,
so,
They have to buy in on your concept
right.
Yeah.
completely, or motivating them is nearly impossible.
The last thing I want to tell you, I've got my references here, and I'll share with you what I showed you today, basically, but really what finalizes a great team is each one of you. I've given you some construction that develops a floor plan, but it's nothing without your credibility and your personal touch.